I take two every now and then on a Saturday morning. Get a chance to sweat your ass off because your AC is not working, and you get a chance to chop it up with Erik Williamson. If your dog's not barking in the background, what's up, Erik?
What's up? Yeah, I got my dog Sadie. She's in the living room. I lock the door, make sure she doesn't bark.
Wow.
But I'm a huge dog lover. Had dogs pretty much all my life. My favorite dog was a miniature poodle named Jalapeño.
Oh
So
my God, that's such a good name for a dog. That is such
yeah,
a
his name was Jalapeno. He was a miniature poodle, and he was a spicy boy. He had a lot of personality. So Jalapeno was my favorite dog of all time. I'm actually thinking about getting tattoos of my dogs on my chest. One jalapeno, one of a picture of a penny because the dog is named Penny, and underneath will be Sadie. So I got about three tattoos right now, but yeah, I'm a big dog lover too. Like we were talking about earlier, things about dogs, they don't have hidden agenda. So
no.
they're pure. So that's why I like them, and I like the fact that they miss you, that they haven't seen you. And like my dog Sadie, while I'm working on my trading or things like that, she come visits me and says hello. So
Yeah, they're the best. They're better than human beings.
yeah, yeah. So I'm glad you're a dog lover. That's great. I'm glad we have that in common.
Awesome.
But uh, but yeah, I live here in Reno, Nevada, and I've been living here for about 3 years. I
How
used
do
to
you like
live in the
Reno? I
Bay.
went to visit Reno once, and I thought it was beautiful, man.
Reno is actually one of the secret places to live because it's right next to Lake Tahoe. It's about 30 minutes from Lake Tahoe. Beautiful lake, and then you're about 3 or 4 hours from the Bay Area. So actually, a lot of people are finding out about Reno and actually moving to Reno because they like it better than Las Vegas, for example, which is kind of far from everything. And the good thing about Nevada, there's no state income tax as well. So if you're a business owner, it's a great place to live.
That is true. Well, there's no state income taxes for the personal income tax. I mean, there's corporate taxes.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause I have my LLC, but I don't have to pay any corporate tax in Nevada. But yeah, if that's the case, yeah, that's the case.
Sounds good. So you're involved in real estate. How's real estate these days? Down here in Vegas, real estate is stagnant.
Yeah, it seems like the market with the real estate. So I'm a licensed real estate salesperson for the state of California, but I am not a realtor or with the brokers right now. So, but I do have that license. But basically, real estate is kind of softening right now. Interest rates are going down, the Fed cutting rates, so like that. But it's getting harder for people to buy because the unemployment. So there's a lot of people unemployed. So there's actually less jobs and there is more people unemployed right now.
That is
So
true.
that is true. So basically, the real estate market is kind of softening. My experience in real estate is I've actually owned and purchased about 14 properties. I got back into real estate investing when I was like 21 years old, which is about 18 years ago. And then I purchased my properties in Indiana, Texas, and San Jose, California. And that's been my experience with real estate investing. But it's a good wealth building tool to invest in because of the tax benefits, like the phantom income of depreciation and things like that. But it's a great way to build wealth. And yeah, I think the real estate market could go down further. I'm not buying anything right now just because I don't see any, I think it's a little too high. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, what do you think,
Well,
Chris?
I think Jerome Powell's kind of screwing the whole real estate market up like crazy. I mean, he lowered interest rates by 1/4%, but to be honest with you, I think he's fucking things up horribly.
Yeah, I mean, interest rates, I mean, they do help real estate lowering a little bit more because it creates more buyers, but it hurts the sellers.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
But yeah, the real estate market is a great market. I know I follow Greg Cardone, and he's really big into real estate investing. I
He
still
does.
got his
He
book.
does like real estate, but he also likes Bitcoin lately too.
Yeah, Bitcoin is doing pretty good. It's over 115,000 right now
Yeah,
per
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's always going to do good because we've got idiot politicians that keep printing US dollars. And if you literally just think about it, there's no way that Bitcoin can ever go down, in my opinion, simply because we've got politicians that are fucking up the entire economic value of the US dollar.
Yeah, the money printing is insane. There's a thing called fractional reserve banking. For every dollar that you
Oh,
put
it's
into the
crazy.
bank, the
Yeah, that's
bank lends 10.
yeah, that's
So a
that's
lot of the credit out there is fake. It's fake money. It's not even real.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. I got a client that we did the largest real estate commercial note backed by Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin. And we announced that in March. It's a $105 million commercial note.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a big no.
it's a big note. It's building multiple basically golf ranges. It's a company called Golf Suites, and it's being administered by a company called Salt Lending. Are you familiar with Salt?
No, I'm not. Please tell me. Please tell me.
Salt's been around for 7 years in the crypto space. Its CEO is Sean Owens, and they literally do a good job giving people the ability to borrow against their Bitcoin.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I know you can stake with crypto. Like I have my Ethereum stake right now.
Oh, great. Who do you use, like Coinbase for that?
Yeah, I use Coinbase, and I know you can do futures too on crypto. So you can actually own Bitcoin, and then do options on it where you can generate income from your Bitcoin.
That is true.
Uh, so that's crypto is huge. I've never taken a course on crypto investing, and one of the things it tells you to do is read the white paper so you can understand the crypto for the altcoins and the other coins that are out there. But having a crypto portfolio is one of the things I'm trying to grow myself on top of my stock portfolio.
I couldn't agree. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Have you done anything with Bitcoin and real estate?
No, I haven't. Most of my experience with real estate is just a traditional sense where I get a mortgage broker to give me a loan through a major bank. I haven't done anything with crypto, but I know people are purchasing houses with crypto. Crypto is being accepted right now as a way to purchase houses.
Have you checked
Uh,
out what the team at Propi's doing?
no, tell me more about it.
Propi's doing some great things where they're putting titles on the blockchain. They've been around, God, maybe 4, 5, 6 years now.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. What's your experience in crypto? Because I know you have a lot of ventures over, I think it was over 120, things like that. But
Yeah, I've been in the space for 12 years. I've always believed in Bitcoin. I've been a Bitcoin maximalist for a long time. I think
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's an easy argument when you look at the value of Bitcoin and what it's done over the last 14 years versus the value of having your money sit in US dollars.
dollars are depreciating asset when I trade Forex. Sometimes dollars up and down, but the
I mean,
dollar is,
everything goes up and down, but even like if you look at the long-term value
yeah,
proposition,
it's depreciated a lot over the long term.
yeah, it's going to continue to depreciate because you've got insane politicians that constantly print more dollars. You can't run an economic value system like that for a country and expect anything good to come of it.
Yeah, it's also like it's a fiat currency, so it has nothing really backing it except for the trust of the U.S. government and the people who put the trust in the dollar themselves. But the minute the trust is no longer there, then hyperinflation kicks in, kind of like the greenbacks with Germany.
Yeah, Germany's in a tough space. I think all fiat in the world right now that we look at, you're looking at a situation where fiat for countries is being controlled by politicians and their insane ability to keep printing more of their currency makes each dollar or each fiat worth less. I think inherently these politicians are creating insane amounts of inflation for their people.
Yeah, inflation is not good. I know a lot of countries go through hyperinflation. It's been throughout the years. I've been following Ray Dalio's work, principles, why big countries go broke,
Yeah, it's
and
amazing. It's amazing. Ray over the years has gone from I'm not so sure about Bitcoin to saying, hey, you absolutely have to have this in your portfolio.
yeah, there was a big hater of Bitcoin, which is Warren Buffett.
Well, Warren, I don't think Warren understands Bitcoin. He
But I'm a
thinks
big, go ahead.
I think he thinks Bitcoin is not here to stay.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin is here to stay because just the way it was designed was very intelligent. Uh, Especially if you read the white paper. I read it a long time ago, but it's a great it's a great product. Some financial advisors are recommending that you keep 1% of your portfolio. I've heard about that 1% of your portfolio in Bitcoin or adding it to your portfolio like gold and things like that. But I'm a big believer of Bitcoin. I own it myself. I think it's a great investment, and I think it's done over 70% a year compounded for the last 7 or 10 years.
I'm gonna say
Uh,
it's done a lot more than that. I think it's actually done a lot more than that.
yeah, it's done a very high return on investment. So, but basically, yeah, using Bitcoin for real estate is very good because you can hold your rent money, you can put in Bitcoin, and you can hold it for 20, 30 days and then pay the mortgage. There's a lot of ways you can play with the cash flow for real estate investments. I know if I were to get,
Have you done that?
no, I know some people are doing that. Just from hearing some podcasts and talking to some of the people that I know that are in the game of real estate investing. It's been a while since I've been owning rental properties. I just have one property right now. But I know there's a lot of things you can do with Bitcoin and real estate, uh, and it's something I want to research more because it's a great avenue to turn an additional return on your money.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the value of Bitcoin's a better store of value than any US dollar will ever be.
Yeah, I agree 100%, 100%. Um, so what got you into Bitcoin? Because I was curious. I always like to hear how people got into Bitcoin, how they first heard about it.
So it's ironic. A friend of mine in Israel was a big gamer, and he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, I need you to help me buy some more Bitcoin because I guess he could only get so much from this one source." And they were using Bitcoin to buy, I want to say, in-game stuff for World of Warcraft. And I was helping him buy it with PayPal. And I think I only bought like, I'm not kidding you, like a couple $100 worth, like $300 worth in my PayPal account. And he showed me how to set up a QT wallet, which back in the day, the Bitcoin wallets were not as sexy as they are today. And I want to say about a year and a half later after this, because I forgot about it. I still had like $300 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet. I walk by my TV in my house and I hear CNBC going, "Oh, and today in little known industry known as Bitcoin, Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $160." And I remember I bought it for like I want to say $3 or just some ridiculously small amount of money. And I was like, "What?" And so I had to go look for the old laptop that I used that still had the Bitcoin on there. And I went to it, and sure as shit, it had gone up significantly in value. So then I started like doing a ton of research on it and learning more about it. And the more I learned about Bitcoin, the more I realized, wow, this is probably the greatest thing. If it can get mainstream adoption, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And sure as heck, it took a while, but we got mainstream adoption and then some.
Wow. And do you still play World of Warcraft?
No, I don't play. My buddy plays it. I think he still plays it, but yeah, he was totally addicted to it.
Yeah, I was playing it a long time ago when it first came out. I got addicted to it too. It definitely is an addiction playing video games. But that's funny you say that they use Bitcoin for World of Warcraft. But I know. I heard the story about a person paying for a pizza with Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, that was years ago. I want to say he gave up like 10,000 Bitcoin for two Domino's pizzas.
Yeah, so you imagine they held on to those Bitcoin for all those years. But do you do other crypto besides Bitcoin? Do you do Ethereum or
I've dabbled,
XRP?
but at the end of the day, Bitcoin is probably the one that makes the most sense for me.
What about real estate investing? Have you
I'm
what
yeah, I'm a
besides the
big fan
note?
of real estate, mostly commercial.
Oh, commercial real estate investing. Are you into office, retail, or
Um, so right now I'm involved in a $105 million project that has golf suites, which is basically a golf range business, and it also has ERC, which is basically manufactured homes for rental only.
oh, okay. Yeah, I never dabbled into commercial. All my experience is residential. But something I want to get into is commercial later on in life. Because the great thing about commercial is you can get non-recourse loans, so you're not personal liable for the debt.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of value in commercial. I'm a huge fan of commercial.
And where do you recommend people starting to do commercial? Because like if you were someone like me who's done residential, where do you recommend they start to do
I think
commercial?
at the end of the day, owning fractional ownership of commercial property, you can own a piece of a commercial property to get started, and you don't have to own all of it. But you'll find out over time that commercial appreciates insanely more than residential.
Okay, like more like golf courses, office space, things like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's something I want to learn. What do you recommend learning about commercial real estate?
I think there's a ton of resources out there that can teach you about it. At the end of the day, you just got to get your feet wet. You just got to get involved in it. Once you get involved in commercial real estate, you'll never look back.
Okay. Is there like a specific resources you recommend?
I'm sorry.
Any specific resources like courses like Grant Cardone or anybody like that? Or
Grant's does a great job. He teaches people a lot.
okay.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you can absorb as much about commercial as possible, that's great.
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I only read like one book on commercial real estate investing. That's the Donald Trump University book.
Yeah,
But his university books are pretty good. I read them. I can get them on eBay for like $5. But his Trump University got shut down by the government, but it's still pretty good stuff that's out there.
yeah. You got to give Trump credit. He's been a real estate genius for decades.
Yeah,
His
I
his his sons and him are very involved in Bitcoin now also.
yeah, didn't they make like $3 billion off the crypto projects that they were working on?
They've made a ton of money.
Yeah, that's great. But what about your dogs? You give them any crypto swag? You advertise Bitcoin on them?
Whenever I can, I get them all kinds of swag from conferences I get, but yeah, usually it's usually stuffed animals like they literally go to town on.
Use stuffed animals and then they tear them up or whatever in
The
conferences.
little guys don't tear it up as much, but the big guy, he doesn't, he's not long for the stuffed animals. Now get him a ball, get him a ball. He loves balls.
Okay, okay. And tell me about your dogs. Where'd you get them? How'd you get them? Did you get them a shelter? You get them from the puppy, or did you get them from a breed? Or
Yeah, the big guy, Jesse James, I got at a shelter. He just grew on me right away, and there was no way I was going to let him live a life in a shelter. And the little guys, that's a little more of a unique story. I was dating a girl, and her Pomeranian had sex with a guy named Bob, and she had a litter of three puppies in my house. And well, not necessarily in my house. She had it in my ex-girlfriend's car, and so she brought him home, and we nurtured him here at my house, and I just couldn't let him go to the shelter. And I said to myself, all right, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep the brother and sister together for yeah, I'm gonna keep them together for the rest of their lives, for the rest of known days. And now I've got their mom here hanging out with them, and yeah, they're a little squad. I call them, instead of MS-13, I call them MS-3. They're they, they're little terrorists sometimes.
You get them gold chains too, or
I haven't gotten them gold chains yet. I don't know if I want to do that in Vegas. I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, if they walked around with gold chains, somebody would steal them. They'd be they'd be more valuable to somebody then.
yeah.
Hey, talk a little bit about overcoming your fear in investing. You're an investor in real estate, you're an investor in currencies. Talk a little bit about getting over your fear. A lot of people don't invest partly because they're afraid.
Yeah, the biggest thing is I read a book, Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins a long time ago.
Oh, that was a great book. I actually love that book. I got it on
I,
audio file.
yeah, I did a podcast on it, believe it or not. You can check it out. But basically, the Money Master the Game, the biggest thing he talks about, one of the 7 steps is making a decision to be an investor. And believe it or not, once you make a decision to be an investor, which is part of the be, do, have theory, that once you become an investor and decide to be an investor, your fear kind of goes away.
Yeah,
Uh,
you just got to get your mind right.
yeah, so it's your mindset. It's all mindset. So I know I kind of day trade too. I also invest in stocks. And when they some reason like I had a loss, I think the biggest loss I had was like 25,000, which was in Bitcoin when it crashed. But now it's gone up more.
It's not a loss if
It
you
did,
don't sell.
yeah, but basically the point of what I was saying is because I decided to be an investor, it didn't bother me. Believe it or not, that loss didn't bother me because I knew if I just held on, it would have gone back up. So
Well,
that's
you got to invest for the fundamental reasons.
yeah, exactly. So the fundamental. So basically, being a long-term investor, being long-term also helps with the fear. So if you said, "Hey, I'm going to hold on to this stock or crypto or currency or real estate or whatever you're investing in, if you plan on holding it for 10, 20 years, the fluctuations are not going to bother you because the fundamentals will tell you that it's good." So, for example, when I was investing in Intel back 2 years ago, I knew that the company is not going to fail because the government would intervene. And sure enough, Donald Trump put a 10% stake in, Nvidia put 5 billion in. So basically doing your research also helps with the fear too. So doing your due diligence to making sure you do your research. So when you're looking at a property, looking at the location, looking at the rental history, looking at the home inspection, looking at the location, jobs. That's for real estate. For stock market, you're looking at the fundamentals like the current ratio, how much current assets do they have for their current liabilities. Um, and then you can look at the technicals and then things like that. But I know for being an investor myself, it's just doing the research because the more research you do, the more bias that you have for your investment, the more likely you are to hold on to it. So I know like Chris, he's really into Bitcoin. He's more likely to hold on to Bitcoin because he's done his research.
Well, it's also, I believe in it. I think the fundamental value of Bitcoin is got eternal lasting. It's not like you're investing to get in and out. I think a lot of people sometimes want to day trade Bitcoin or day trade stuff. It's not that kind of investment. You're investing in it because you believe in the fundamental value of it over your other choice, which is the US dollar or other currencies.
Exactly. And also, like I said, being an investor is more long term, day trader is not.
I couldn't agree
So
more.
yeah, so if you're an investor, you're a long term individual. And even Warren Buffett, I like him a lot. He talks about you own companies you never want to sell.
Yeah, he actually did really well with that mentality, and that did extremely well for him.
And it's kind of like Bitcoin. If you never sell Bitcoin, most historically it's gone up a lot over time. Even
Well,
though,
you gotta look at what Michael Saylor's done too. It's great.
yeah, with MicroStrategy,
Yeah, MicroStrategy. Yep.
yeah, he's great. He also there's a covered call ETF. I'm not recommending it or anything, but there's one that does off cover strategy too, selling options on MicroStrategy. But that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people don't know about Warren Buffett. He's also an option trader.
Oh,
Uh,
really? I didn't know that.
yeah, actually, if you look through the Berkshire Hathaway uh, balance sheets, you look at their profit. I think he made billions selling puts on the S&P 500 index. So he's actually one of the best option traders there are out there. So
Well,
that's
I think Warren's one of the best investors out there for all of mankind.
yeah, I love the book Charlie Munger Almanac. I'm a big book reader. I don't know about you, Chris. Do you love reading books too? I'm not sure.
I like audiobooks. Like for me, I lost this left eye to a stroke about 8 years ago, and I've really grown to love audiobooks.
The audiobooks. Okay. What's your favorite audiobook?
Uh, I think all of Tony Robbins' books are one of my favorites, but I've got a huge library. I want to say like over 700 audiobooks, and there's something good in every book.
Yes, there's definitely one lesson, at least one lesson, but there's more lessons from books.
Couldn't agree,
Uh,
man.
I read about a book a week right now. That's a habit I tried this year. Read a book a week because I know the average CEO reads about 60 books. So I told myself, you know what, if I want to be like a big CEO, I should read 60 books a year.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the other thing too. Like, I sometimes go and I'll go to like a local bookstore and I'll grab some coffee. And what I'll do is I'll grab a bunch of books and read what I like about the book. I don't have to read the whole book, but there's a little bit of knowledge inside of every book. And if you can pull that knowledge out and absorb it, you got to want to read. You got to want to learn. And when you want to learn something, it becomes more interesting to you.
Yeah, I heard the phrase from Dolph DeRoos, who's a big real estate investor and wrote some books too. He's saying people have no advantage over somebody that cannot read if you don't read yourself. So you're no better than somebody who can't read if you don't read yourself. So reading books is good. I always recommend people read 10 pages a day. You know, if you have little to zero time, if you have a family, you have a job or a business that's not going to be tired, 10 pages a day literally takes about 10, 15 minutes. That's about 300 pages a month, which is about an average size book. That's about $12 a year. So if you read 10 pages a day, you read a book. And also listen to audio for 15 minutes. So listen to audiobook off Audible. It's good too. Uh, and also I went to Tony Robbins event. Have you ever been to a Tony Robbins seminar?
For a long time. Yeah, I used to go to Tony Robbins events when I was 24 years old, and I couldn't get enough of them. I found the people there were people that I wanted to align with, that I wanted to get to know.
Yeah, I went to one of his events where you get to walk on flaming hot coals. So I did
Yeah,
that.
I think that's
Did you,
Unleash the Power Within, UPW.
yeah, yeah, Lisa Power within. So I actually did that. And I told people that they're like, "Wow, you crazy!" And it's actually real cold. It's real cold. You can feel the heat from walking on it. Now they do water the ground, so they do that, and also you're not walking for a long period of time in the cold. I think it's literally like 2, 3 seconds you're walking on it, and then the phrase you say to yourself is "kumas, kumas, kumas,
Cool
kumas, kumas."
moss, cool moss, cool
Yeah,
moss.
kumas, yeah. And then you keep your head up. You're not allowed to look down at all. You can't look down at all. And they give you a little certificate saying firewalker, and then it's supposed to be a metaphor saying that if you're not afraid to walk over hot coals, then you shouldn't be afraid in investing in real estate or investing in stock or starting your own business.
Yeah, exactly. If you can get over something that most people can't do, you raise the level of what is possible in your life.
Yeah, so that event changed my life. That's how I basically bought 10 properties in about 6 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bought them all, no money down too.
Do
Uh,
you still have them or did you get rid of them?
no, I got rid of them a lot, but basically, but when I got them for no money down, it was creative financing. I went through a wholesaler that sold houses in bunches. So you actually, if you want to buy residential real estate, there's individuals called wholesalers. They'll sell you like 3 houses or 5 houses or 10 houses at a time. But you have the cash or money or credit, and that's what I did. I was able to do that. And but yeah, that was pretty great example. But that was after the I unleashed the power within of it with Tony Robbins.
Yeah, if you change your mindset, you can change your life.
Yeah, and a lot of it is being who you are, is be do have. I think Robbie Kiyosaki talks about a lot of that in his books, in Rich
Yep.
Dad Poor Dad. He talks about be do have. A lot of that is who you are, who you're being. That's the biggest thing because if what you're asking me that question, why people are afraid, well, that's a being question. Because if you're afraid, that's who you're being. You're an afraid person. You're
Yeah.
afraid of risk.
Well, you're
So
letting
simply
fear hold you back. You're letting fear paralyze you. And that's the thing. Most people let fear paralyze them. But if you can find a way to get your mind right and get over fear, you can change your entire life.
exactly anything is possible, and being out in the United States is still one of the greatest countries to live in, just because of the ability to own crypto and do real estate, do stock market, things like that. Um, but another thing I want to talk about is analysis paralysis. That's something that happened to me. There's a lot of people out there who read like 100 books on real estate investing and then they never do it.
Yeah, that's true.
They go to all the seminars, they go to all the seminars, listen to all the podcasts, they read all the books, but they never take action. And that's the key is you have to learn something, but you have to do something. So that has to be, do, have. So you have to do. So you have to take action, and you have to take massive action. And also the one thing that I appreciate from Tony Robbins is his ultimate success formula, which is basically you have to know what you want, take massive action, and change your approach, and then you eventually get your result. So
Couldn't
if things are not working, you have to change your approach.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I can see Tony's had a huge effect on your life and your success.
Yeah, I got all his programs, personal power, get the edge. I also lost a lot of weight. I went from 250 to about 185 in
Oh
one
man,
year.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of it is the diet. So one thing that I learned is to change your view on food. So if you're craving fast food or you're craving chocolate or candy or soda, things like that, to change your view on that food and your belief. So if your belief that if drinking sugary Coca-Cola is bad, you're not going to drink it.
Well, Coca-Cola and all sugar-based products, Starbucks is probably one of the worst things you could ever do.
I like to call them $5.
What, yeah, I don't know where you're at, but they're out here in Vegas, they're like $9. Well,
It's
listen,
funny.
I was going to say, well, listen, Eric, one of the things I like to end a podcast on is I want you to tell somebody that's watching this right now something inspirational that'll get them to change their life today a little bit. Doesn't have to change the rest of their life, doesn't have to change their life tomorrow, but gets them literally motivated to get off the couch and pursue something today. What would you tell somebody?
The most fundamental of anything is goal setting. Setting goals, setting long-term goals, 20-year goals, 10-year goal, 5-year, 3-year, and 1-year goals, and then quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily goals, and then going after your goals, and then reading your goals and writing them down. So I write my goals in the morning. So I wake up about 4:30 in the morning. I write down my goals, and then right before I go to sleep, I go write down my goals. Because here's the thing: if you have goals, plans, you're going to take the action. And especially if you're reading your goals out loud twice a day, you're more likely to take action on them because you're focused and you have clarity on what you want. The biggest problem with people is they don't have clarity on what they want.
Clarity and goals. I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Well,
thank
Eric,
you.
I've enjoyed chopping it up with you today, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Chris. It was really nice meeting you.
I appreciate you too. Hold on one second.